Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and we're at Green Gables, made famous by Lucy Maud Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables. This is the place where she based it all off of, the Green Gables thing. And we're here on Prince Edward Island, spending a nice 4-day weekend just enjoying Prince Edward Island. It's beautiful. And even a place as beautiful as Prince Edward Island with history and great beaches has things, of course, you're going to love, but there's also going to be things you're not going to love. So that's why we have the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Prince Edward Island. So as you know, I always like to get the bad news out of the way first. So the first thing you're not going to like about coming to Prince Edward Island is actually getting onto the island. You used to have to take ferries, and you still can, but most likely you're going to take the Confederation Bridge, which is about a 10-mile or like 16-kilometer long bridge that you go over. And if you're scared of high bridges with low sides, it can be a little bit off-putting. I know for my wife it was a little off-putting. For myself, I was like, okay, let's just focus on the road. And just know that it can be a little stressful, and there's stoplights sometimes on there if things happen, so really pay attention. But that's the thing you're not going to like when you first get on. Now, it's good because it can be a bit scary. Though if you drive near sunset or sun up, oh my God, it is so gorgeous on the bridge. But just know the first thing you're not going to like is coming across that bridge. It can get a little freaky. The second thing you're not going to like about coming to Prince Edward Island is if you come outside of summer. Guys, you need to come from May through September because it's beautiful in Prince Edward Island. The only thing is, winter lasts a very long time, and they don't measure their snow in inches. They measure it in feet of snow here, okay? It gets very cold. February here, the people are, getting stir crazy. They want to get out, and it can be a bit, a little frustrating for the locals and for tourists. That's why most of the stuff is closed in the winter here. So what you want to do is come in the summertime because the winters can be very much unbearable. The third thing you might not like about coming to Prince Edward Island is this is a very popular place to come. Green Gables is it's a national, national monument here, and Prince Edward Island is gorgeous. So there are a lot of tourists that do come here in the summer. So that can mean that you're going to need to get reservations for the better hotels and cottages, which are really nice, which I recommend. Because if you wait, you're not going to be able to get the best hotels, the best cottages, the restaurant, things like that. So make sure you plan ahead and make your reservations early. If you're looking for the best hotels, a few months early would be a best place to go. But go to cottages because it's really kind of cool to have your own little cottage out on Prince Edward Island. It's just gorgeous, heading to the beaches and all kinds of stuff. But second thing you're not going to like is those summer hordes of tourists. It's not super bad, but just know that it's not going to be the calm Canada you're hoping for. Just some places like Cavendish Beach can be that way and things like that. Okay. Also with the summer, as we're summer tourists, we like to go to the beach when we're here. I'll throw that in with the summer tourist stuff. Is some of the beaches do have kind of like a red clay kind of stuff in it. So if you're wearing white, expect to get ruined. Most of the beaches though don't have that problem, but just give you that heads up because my wife is still a little mad at me because I sat down and, well, let's just say I don't have a white shirt anymore for this trip. The fourth thing you might not like about coming here is one of the reasons why you do come here, Green Gables. Now, it's a very small thing. I mean, they have Lover's Lane and they have the haunted woods and stuff like that. And you've got the house here, but there's not a lot that's actually part of Green Gables. However, the entire island, and especially by here in Cavendish, has kind of sold its soul to everything Green Gables. It'll be White Gables Hotel or Green Gables Hotel or Avonlea Village and all these things. It gets really overly touristy kind of stuff. So you don't get like the historic feel of Prince Edward Island. And Prince Edward Island has a lot of history. They're celebrating in 2014. They celebrated 150 years of the Confederation and stuff like that. I mean, the beginnings of Canada was actually here. Okay, the birthplace of Confederation, that's what's on their license plate here. And there's a lot of history of it, but unfortunately a lot of it is kind of sold to the Green Gables stuff. They kind of go in that way, which can be a bit frustrating. It's not a bad thing, it's just something you should be looking out for, that it's not just the Green Gables and Anna Green Gables stuff, it's also all the beauty of this island and the history as well. But it can get a little bit over the top, okay? And I come from a place by Hannibal, Missouri, where Mark Twain's from, and everything is Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, everything, and you're like, come on, there's other stuff here, okay? And the fifth thing you might not like about coming to Prince Edward Island is driving on the island, because sometimes you're not really sure where you're supposed to go. Obviously in the wintertime with all the snow and stuff, it can be a bit dangerous, but when you're coming here from New Brunswick, what I find kind of funny is like, it's not the Prince Edward Island drivers that bother you, it's the New Brunswick drivers, because they'll get right up on your back, and then here they'll have like 2 lanes, and then it'll go to 3 where you're supposed to move over to the side and let them pass. Those people will still stay behind you through that 3-lane part, and then right at the very end, whew, shoot around you. So it's like, come on, man. So the New Brunswick drivers that come to PEI, and the tourist drivers, they'll kind of get to you. Also, what you should be careful of is when you're riding around here, a lot of people will be biking, so make sure you're paying attention to the bikers and all the pedestrians and tourists around when you are here, because that can be something you don't like. And let's be honest, those 5 hates about Prince Edward Island, they're nothing, okay? Granted, except for the winter thing, that kind of sucks on a bridge. But let's be honest, this is a fantastic place here. It is beautiful. I wanted to come here, my son wanted to come here, my wife, my kid. I mean, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of history, and of course, Green Gables. And so what are the 5 things you're gonna love about it here? The first thing you're gonna love is the nature side of things. Going to all the beaches around here. Yes, you can go to Cavendish Beach, which is right by here. Or if you want to be a little more adventuresome, you go out to East End. There's a lighthouse on the very end. You can see where the land's falling into the sea. And there they have Basin Head Beach, which was voted the best beach in North America. And the thing that's cool is here, the beaches, the water's a little bit warmer than if you go farther south, you know, in the Maine and stuff like that. So you do get a better beach time here, and there's all kinds of fun stuff to do at the beach. But just going around to the beaches, driving around, taking in the fields and all this kind of stuff, and the views and the sunset and this natural beauty, that's the first thing you're going to love. The beaches and the natural beauty of PEI, fantastic. The second thing that I like about coming here, and actually what's nice is, my wallet likes too, is Prince Edward Island is actually cheaper than if you're going to the more traditional kind of tourist places in Canada, because most Americans, we go to Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver. Those are rather expensive places to go. PEI is actually a relatively affordable place. Now, Canada's a little bit more pricey than US, in my opinion, but it's still a good deal here in PEI, and you really should come because it's not bad on your wallet. And especially if you're thinking of doing a cross-Canada thing, it's well worth visiting if you're ending here, because it's like everything's cheap compared to Toronto or Montreal. So that's kind of a cool thing. The third thing you're going to like about coming here is the history. And yes, part of that history is a fictional history like Green Gables, which is really cool to come check out. But also, like I said, this is where Canada was basically began to be founded. You go to the Province House in Charlottetown, okay? You drive around and you can see the history and all the beauty of this place. And yes, I do say it's a little overdone with the Green Gables thing, but if you read the books or even just watch the mini-series with your kids, you'll understand that this is really a cool kind of thing. And it goes to that kind of, well, nowadays it would be historical fiction, but then it was just fiction. But it really gives you a feel of how things were there and that history that's here. And they have lots of interpreters. If you go to Charlottetown, they've got interpreters walking around that will give you tours. You can go here, they have interpreters, all kinds of cool stuff. Avonlea Village, yes, it is a touristy place, but they do have period things. And if your kids watch the movie or read the books, they reenact all that stuff. And it's really kind of a cool thing about being here. The fourth thing you're going to love about coming here is eating. Yes, you will eat lobster when you're here. When it's out of season, it's not as fresh, but if you come in season, it's fantastic. And even out of season, it's still more fantastic than anything. The seafood here is phenomenal. Getting into the restaurants, go to some of the small villages around the island and eat at those places because the food is fantastic. It's a little bit cheaper than like in Charlottetown and stuff, but I'll be honest, eating here is great. Also, drinking here is pretty good. And not just the local beers, but also a local drink. You've got to have your raspberry cordial. If you ever read Anne of Green Gables, you know what I'm talking about. They have that around here. It is actually really good. My kids love it. I love it. So you'll do very well eating here. So love number 4 is the eating and the drinking. Specifically the seafood and drinking the raspberry cordial and the stuff that's a little bit stronger. And the fifth thing you're going to love about coming to Prince Edward Island are the people. I mean, in general, Canadians are fantastic. They've been wonderful throughout our whole trip throughout Canada. PEI has been no exception to that. These people here are fantastic. Yesterday, we ended up talking to, a bartender for like half an hour just about life and liberty and all kinds of fun stuff here in Canada, about the snow going up to here in PEI. And everyone's so nice. Our hotel, the people, the general manager where we stayed, Craig, he was fantastic. Gave us lots of tips, locals on the street. Hey, we can hold your baby while you do stuff. I'm like, okay. I mean, the people here really are super nice, even with all these tourists coming in. Now, I'll be honest, I really enjoyed coming to Prince Edward Island, and it is a fun place to go. If you want to learn more, we got a video, 10 facts about Prince Edward Island, 10 facts about Charlottetown, I should say. Also, what to see and do here on PEI, all on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, and we really appreciate your likes and subscriptions. And I hope you have a great time here on Prince Edward Island in Canada. Bye, and good luck with the Confederation Bridge. I'm getting kind of worried about going back over there. Bye. And another thing here in Charlottetown, make sure you find the mice statues all around. Kind of fun thing for the kids to check out. Find the little mice all over town.